time since I last made a video. I'm currently on my way to a dyno to get this car dyno checked, I guess. Last time I did that was 4 years ago now. God damn, how the time flies. But I did get married and go on a honeymoon and, you know, start a family and buy a house and all of that. So 4 years went by very, very quickly. But in any case, I'm going back to the same dyno, the one I went to 4 years ago, to see just what improvements to engine performance I've accomplished with all the mods I've made. So there's a lot of differences now compared to back then. The first difference is that back then, when we did the first dyno, or a set of dyno runs, the outside air temperature was 38 degrees C, 37.5 I believe, anyway. And right now, according to the car, it's 17. So there'll be a 20-degree difference in the outside air temperature. That should improve performance, but maybe the dyno takes that into account and maybe it won't change anything. The second thing is, back then, I was on 98 octane fuel, Shell V-Power, but now I am on 100 octane fuel. They were going past an Echo petrol station that sells the 100 octane fuel. And the fuel back then was apparently bad fuel, because shortly afterwards I started to get drivetrain faults, which were apparently attributed to bad fuel, some kind of contaminant in the fuel. So I'm going with, in quotation marks, clean 100 octane fuel, but that should also make some small improvements. I had stock gearbox at the time. Now I have XHP stage 3 software loaded. But the most important mods are of course the engine mods. Back then I was totally stock, and I had tested the car. If you go to the video, I had tested the car with completely stock power and with the JB Plus piggyback tuning box. And then I loaded a stage 1 tune. And the results of the stage 1 tune were quite disappointing, but maybe it was the outside air temperature and the fuel that were to blame. But in any case, now I have Akrapovic Downpipe, AFE Magnum Pro Dry filter, air filter. The Magnum, it always reminds me of ice cream.
Turn left.
Will do, Google, will do. And in addition to the Akrapovic Downpipe and the AFE Pro Dry filter, I have a B58TU fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, and that allowed me to load a stage 2 plus tune, Bootmod3, or boot mode. I don't know why I always say Bootmod3, it's the way it's written, I guess, but boot mode, stage 2 plus tune. Loaded that myself with a laptop, with Simon's help, of course. And I'm off to see what difference the stage 2 plus tune makes over the stage 1 tune. And I'm really hoping for 470 horsepower at the crank, which is, I think, roughly 392 horsepower at the wheels, but we'll soon see. And yeah, that's basically it. One thing we didn't do last time, and I'm intending to do this time, is we didn't use the hidden menu to put the car into roller mode. I'm gonna do that this time. I don't know how it changes the car. Something about it disables certain parts of the stability control systems and allows you to run the car more freely on the dyno. But I'm not too knowledgeable on that. I didn't even know that that existed last time. So that's it, that's the plan. I'm gonna put the car into roller mode and let the guy do his thing, and hopefully we'll get better results than last time. If we don't get better results than last time, I'll eat my hat. But anyway, I know for a fact that I have a more powerful car than I did before, because my 0 to 60 times when I went there 4 years ago were around 4.8 seconds. And now they are roughly, you know, on average 4.2 seconds. Actually, I don't get worse than 4.2 seconds anymore, but I still haven't hit my my target of still haven't hit my target of so Google, I can't go left, Google. So just so that you know, Google, once again, you're full of crap. So yeah, my 0 to 60 times were roughly 4.8 seconds.
Exit the roundabout.
No kidding, Google. They were 4.8 seconds average at the time, and now
meters. Turn left.
and now we have an average or a consistent 4.2 seconds 0 to 60 time, and I'm still not hitting the under 4 seconds that I really want to accomplish. But in any case, that's neither here nor there. That's my personal goal with the car, 0 to 60 times. I'm even thinking of going X-Drive, trying to get something done with X-Drive. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'm really jealous of the guys who've already, those right-hand drive cars that are in the UK, which are already X-Drive. I've contacted them, trying to get more information. And I really hope they'll give me some information. I'm not trying to compete with those guys, but I really want to improve my 0 to 60 times. So that's all it is. I don't think I'll ever be in the same arena as any of those cars, so they have nothing to worry about. So I arrived at the dyno, we set everything up. Remember, this is the same dyno I went to 4 years ago. And we set everything up. Apparently we did use roller mode last time, so we put it back into roller mode, so that is not a factor again this time. So we did a couple of runs, and the best we got was 366 horsepower at the wheels, which is quite disappointing. That equates to roughly 430 horsepower at the crank, which obviously is better than the stage 1 tune that we had before, obviously, because that ended up being 370 horsepower at the crank. So I am 60 horsepower more, but again, it's way short of the 480 horsepower I was expecting at stage 2 plus. However, taking into account the atmospheric conditions like ambient pressure, temperature, etc., altitude, altitude related humidity and all of that, if you apply those into a formula, which I found online, a dyno correction calculator, we are actually losing some horsepower due to the low atmospheric pressure. So if you apply those, you get 388, 389 horsepower at the wheels, which converts to 460 horsepower at the crank. But 460 horsepower at the crank still is a little bit low. I was expecting 480. So I'm a little bit disappointed once again. I don't know why my car is underperforming. Looking at the graphs, comparing stock with the stage 2 plus tune, the car looks very healthy. The car looks, consistently 100 horsepower above stock, 19 Newton meters above stock, very consistent graphs throughout, no dips and no unusual losses of power at any point in the RPM range. And so the guide says it's a very healthy car, it's a very healthy engine. The tune is a very good tune because it mirrors stock, just gives you 100 horsepower more than stock throughout. So there's nothing there that's obviously wrong with the car. It's just that by comparison with what you read online, I'm not getting the performance that others are getting with the stage 2 plus tune from Bootmod. I don't think it's low enough to report it to them, but it's just maybe that it may be that the dyno itself is the factor. Meaning that if I tested my car on a different dyno, I might get different results. Maybe this dyno is a bit more strict than other dynos. Taking into account that many people have reported that their engines are producing more horsepower than they should be from the factory when in stock form, maybe that's just the dynos giving you 20 or 30 horsepower more than you actually have. Just because the way they're configured, maybe this dyno is much more accurate and much more true to what the horsepower, to what the engine can produce. So maybe I should just not feel so badly about the lack of horsepower, in quotation marks, lack of horsepower, just because other people have reported more horsepower from the stage 2 plus tune. In any case, what I really want to do is accomplish faster 0 to 60 times. And I can definitely see that with the stage 2 plus tune, I should be able to accomplish faster 0 to 60 times than with the stage 1 tune that I had previously, because I do have at least, from 370 to 460 or 430 even, I do have 60 more horsepower, so I should have actually been under 4 seconds by now. So one thing the guy recommended is to drop my lower pressures even more than I'm doing. My rear wheel pressures are lower than my front wheel pressures. And he said just drop them more because that's probably your issue, which I will do. and report back. But there you go, guys. Dyno run done. Stage 2 plus tune checked. Definitely better than my stage 1 tune. Definitely a good tune in terms of the graphs comparing to stock, but not accomplishing the 480 to 485 horsepower that potentially could have been achieved based on what's been reported online. So I'm not so happy, but I'm still very happy, and maybe I should just be grateful I have such a powerful car, even if it's not accomplishing the horsepower I want. That's it. Let me know what you think, and see you in the next one.